Yeah, good morning everyone. In this video lecture, we will be kickstarting with the discussion of the operating system, where in this particular operating system course, we will be going to learn about the structure of the OS and the basic architectural component which has been involved in the design of the OS. With this discussion of this structure and the basic architectures which has been involved in the design, which gives you the outcome of learning the concept of the OS which has been utilized with respect to the information how this OS reacts and executed in the system, and also the learning resource which we have suggested, which is nothing but the syllabus course in 2013. And in this particular module of the introduction of the OS, we will be going to discuss about the various topics, basic topics which has been involved in the design and the working principle of this particular operating system. And first we will be kickstarting with the what is OS, how does this particular OS works and what it does. And then we will be discussing about the computer system organization, how the system components been organized in the computer in order to work and execute the operating system. And then we will be discussing about the architecture, which is nothing but we have the basic microprocessor microcontroller which has been embedded and integrated for the design of this system architecture, where in this system architecture we have various components like register, which has been various registers which has been involved in the design and the execution of this particular system architecture. Then we will be discussing about the operating system structure and also the operations which has been executed while performing this particular operating system. And we have three various management systems which has been involved with respect to the processor, memory and the storage. And then with respect to the management of this process, memory and storage, we have to protect and secure this particular management process and also the information which has been involved in design and the working principle of this particular operating system. Then we have a arrangement and the structure of this particular information and the data inside the kernel which has been involved in the operating system. And with respect to the structure of the data, we have three major principal structure which is nothing but the linked list, stack and the queue. Then we have various environment computation involved in execution of this particular operating system. Then we will be discussing about the various open source OS which has been involved and which has been prevalently used in day-to-day and the real-time environment and the sectors. And in the basic objective of this particular module, we will be going to discuss about the particular basic organization of the system architecture. And with respect to the basic organization, we have various components and the systems which has been involved. And then we will be going to provide various insights related to the major components of the OS execution. And we will be going to discuss about various types of computing environment and also the open source being used and contributed related to the operating system. And first we will be going to discuss about the what is operating system. Okay, in what is operating system, which is nothing but a program that can act like an intermediate between the computer and the hardware components which has been integrated into the system, how this particular system hardware reacts with related to the computer to visualize the particular execution and the activity which we are performing. Between the integration of this particular hardware and the computer, we will be writing some of the program which will integrate this particular computer and hardware. That program, whatever we are writing, is nothing but the operating system. So that will act like an intermediate between the computer hardware and the computer. And while we are integrating this particular computer hardware, we have certain goals to be achieved with respect to the program of the OS. The goals, which is nothing but goals as mentioned below. First, we have to go with the execution of the user program, nothing but the application whatever you have used inside this particular OS, and we have to solve various user problems that is easier for the user to execute and activate the various applications. Then we have to make this particular computer to be convenient with the particular user easily and predominantly with respect to the program of the OS which has been written. Then we have to go with the effectiveness of the hardware, because with that hardware, which is the base for the computer to perform easily and effectively. For that, we will be going with the help of this particular operating system as a program to make the computer execute and perform efficiently. Then we will be having the system structure. Okay, with respect to the system structure, we will be dividing the computer system into 4 components, which is nothing but hardware, operating system, application program, and the user. With respect to the hardware, basically we will be having the hardware mainly to provide the basic computations related to the information and the data. The major hardware that will be involved in this particular computer system, which is nothing but CPU, memory, and IO devices. CPU is nothing but the central processing unit. Whatever operation or whatever program which you are executing, that will be executed under this particular central processing unit inside the system. Then for activating and executing various operations inside the CPU, that involves memory and the data to get added into this particular execution of the OS. For taking up the particular memory and the data, we need various IO devices, nothing but the peripheral devices from outside and inside to get it executed, and then we will be having the operating system. Operating system will able to control and coordinate the use of hardware among various applications and the user. So for controlling, coordinating the hardware of CPU, memory, and IO devices, which has been coordinated inside this particular hardware, and it should be controlled with various applications which has been involved in this particular operating system. After involving all these things, we have that application program that will make the way to coordinate and execute this particular system resource to solve the particular computational problems which has been involved in this particular system structure by the user. The various computation problems, which is nothing but the word processor, compiler, web browser, database system, video games, and etc. Then we will be having the various users which has been involved in customizing and structurizing this particular system computer, which is nothing but the people, machine, and all other components. Then all these 4 components has been designed in this particular aspects. Nothing but we will be having the various user like machine, user, and IO device and everything, which is nothing but user 1, user 2, user 3, and user n. And we have various applications, nothing but the compiler, assembler, text, and database systems, and that has been integrated into this particular system operating system with respect to system and the application program. So we will be making this particular intermediate operating system which connects the particular application and also the computer hardware. Then with respect to the design of this particular operating system structure, we will be depending upon how this operating system does works as an intermediate between the application and the system and the hardware. So depending upon the operating system view, the user must have the good easy usage and the good performance while they are utilizing the resource, and they should not have any burden related to the utilization of the resource. Then we will be having a sharing computer which makes all the user to be integrated together and make it effectively and execute the particular process. The best example for the shared computer, which is nothing but the mainframe and the mini computer. Then with respect to the dedicated system, nothing but the workstation which makes all the large resource to be dedicatedly utilized with various systems, and also we will be sharing the resource from various servers to the particular dedicated system. Then this should not make the particular computer handle poor, and it should optimize the particular usability and the battery life of the particular system. Then the computer has various other user interference, nothing but the embedded computer which involves device and the automobiles. So far we have discussed about the topics related to the what is operating system and how this operating system significantly involved in the particular computer and the hardware. Then we have discussed about the various system architecture components involved, such as hardware, operating system, application and user, and also the design aspects of this particular computer system, and also what this operating system exactly about with respect to the various systems which has been involved, nothing but the mainframe, workstation and handheld computers and etc. Thank you everyone. We will be going to discuss about the further topics related to the computer startups and organization and the system architecture.